and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds, and tongues, and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life, of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
The RFID chip has been the source of controversy for a long time. Is it the mark of the beast? Is it a threat to humanity? Will it be used to track us, to watch us, to follow us? And most importantly, will this little device be mandated by the New World Order? It is very important for you to listen carefully to this entire video. I realize there are various interpretations of Revelation 13, 16 through 17. Some believe the mark is a transhuman process that people go through at the end of the age, while others believe it is a symbol of loyalty to the beast kingdom on earth. Some suggest it's a graven image placed inside of the human body, and still others believe it to be an RFID implant. You might remember back to 2007, when NBC aired a series about life in 2017. In one spot, Brian Williams references this year as the start of a brave new world. This is a clear reference to Aldous Huxley's novel. This novel warned us about technology and how it can be used to control society.
That brave new world will include, it's estimated, some 20...
In another spot, Williams focuses on the possibility that a microchip implant will be placed under people's skin in 2017.
More now of our special coverage here tonight, life in the U.S. in 10 years' time. By that time, there may be all kinds of new ways to safeguard and identify all those things that make each of us unique, our faces, even our fingerprints, even our eyes. Here now with more on the future of technology, NBC's Tom Costello.
The year is 2017. You're rushed to a hospital unconscious with no ID or medical history, but thanks to a microchip under your skin, it's all there. Science fiction 20 years ago, but a biometric reality today.
The technology is based on answering one simple question. Am I who I say I am?
Already, fingerprints and iris scans verify passenger identities at airports. Within 10 years, that technology may be even more widespread. And look for more complex facial recognition programs that scan a crowd of thousands looking for a single terrorist. Today's facial recognition software starts with the eyes. Then, it maps out the contours of the face and compares that against a database of millions, a database that's growing by the day. What's next? At the University of Bath in England, researchers predict big changes for consumers.
I think it is possible to free us completely of our wallets and keys using biometric technology, if that's what people want in 10 years' time.
In fact, it's already here. The latest home security locks use fingerprints to control deadbolts. And at the Jewel Osco grocery store in Chicago, some customers pay using their fingerprints. No paper or plastic.
You don't really need anything other than your hand, and you already got that with you.
So will future department stores scan our irises, like in the movie Minority Report, then offer products catered to who we are?
Hello, Mr. Yakamoto. Welcome back to the Gap.
Experts say that technology is here now. The challenge is to safeguard our privacy in a brave new world. Tom Costello, NBC News, Alexandria, Virginia.
RFID has gained a strange and rapid popularity over the past decade. And now people are openly chipping themselves and posting videos online about their experiences. Other implantable devices are also being popularized by the mainstream media, now more so than ever. Why have these device implants become so popular? We've seen sources pushing this message for some time now. BuzzFeed, a YouTube channel that knowingly pushes New World Order propaganda, just featured a segment of a man who used an RFID implant to pay for all of his bills. Is it a fakery, or is there really something about this chip? The RFID chip is exceptionally dangerous, and there is a reason why. It hardwires you to the World Wide Web, the Matrix. RFID chips and other implants can interact with your body and collect data, and upload this data to the WWW that was birthed at CERN in 1989. The fact is that programmed microchips are so advanced in 2016, they can collect massive quantities of information on just about every aspect of your body, including tracking disease progression, tracking blood glucose levels, tracking hormones, etc. Early on, RFID implants were marketed to high-risk populations, such as the elderly, people with dementia, people with diabetes or epilepsy. This was done under a patent called Verichip, which caused a firestorm of speculation that it could be an early test run for the Mark of the Beast. The problem is that many people were so obsessed with Verichip that they completely overlooked a much larger problem. I will expose this problem in this video. But let me first tell you some details about how I know this. I've said little about myself, and I'm very sorry to have to maintain such strict anonymity. I currently serve as a professor of science at a school of medicine. I am also a part of the alternative health community. In my career, I've worked in infectious and communicable disease epidemiology. It may sound like a mouthful, I realize, but it is true. I studied and tracked the progression of a variety of diseases in the public. Within the past 5 years, however, my research has been in medical technology, informatics, medical equipment and trends, and I teach students in these areas. I have worked extensively with medical robots, biometric systems, radio frequency identification, and know the potential danger of these technologies. I now speak out publicly against RFID and biometrics in healthcare. I believe humanity is facing one of the greatest assaults on the right of privacy that we have ever seen, and I'm determined to fight back against it. The RFID chip revolution began around 2002 through 2004, mostly as a concept that had not fully been implemented. Around 2005 through 2008, the chip began to be introduced into the markets. This was around the time when Walmart began cooperating with the Department of Defense in the United States on a massive RFID initiative. Europe has been quicker to adopt RFID into use, and now the chip is a part of everyday life of Europeans. Some Europeans have already received RFID chip implants for ease and accessibility, payment, and security. For example, a news clip released showed the mass chipping of an entire office in Sweden as a part of modernizing the complex.
Here at the newly opened Epicenter office complex in central Stockholm, workers no longer need a badge or a passcode to open doors. A microchip implanted in their hand does the trick. The radio frequency identification or RFID chip is made of Pyrex glass and contains an antenna and a microchip with no need for batteries. It allows carriers to open doors, operate a photocopier, or swap contact details via a smartphone.
The chip is the size of a larger rice grain. It's about 12 millimeters in size. That's put in with a syringe. And it sends an RFID code, so it's an identification tool that can communicate with objects around you. So practical here, you can open doors using your chip. You can do secure printing from our printers with the chip. But you can also communicate with your mobile phone by sending your business card to individuals that you meet.
While the current range of benefits the chip offers is rather limited, its makers say the aim is to explore possible uses and to see how products and services can be developed around the technology. It's hoped in the future workers equipped with the chip will be able to purchase food in the canteen and even get health checks.
So some of the future areas of use, I think, like anything where you today would use a PIN code or a key or a card. So payments is, I think, one area. I think also for healthcare reasons, that you can sort of communicate with your doctor and you can get data on what you eat and sort of what your physical status is.
Its manufacturers claim the chipping is completely safe, but it has raised concern among civil liberty groups worried that it's not hacker-safe and could be used without the wearer's consent to track their whereabouts or gain access to private information.
What I'm about to say might shock you, and I know it to be a fact because of my expertise. The elites have already chipped millions of people while they have slept, when they were put under, during surgical procedures and received medical device implants. Did you know that medical technology companies began to secretly implant chips into devices like hip implants, total knee replacements, titanium rods, medical mesh, pacemakers and defibrillators, prosthetics, and even breast implants now contain small microchips inside of them? There are millions of people on Earth who walk around with these implants. The conspiracy to place microchips into people began back in the first decade of this century. The problem is that everybody was focused on Verichip. What they didn't realize is that chipping began before Verichip was mass-marketed, roughly around the years 2007 through 2008, the year of Obama's election. Millions of microchips are sitting inside of people's bodies as a part of a medical device.
Change happens. Change happens because the American people demand it.
Let me provide further evidence that chipping every individual is not a conspiracy. It is a fact, whether it's the mark of the beast or not. They want to chip every single person in the entire world. Here is a white paper produced by Skyatech and its parent company, JADEC, an industry leader in healthcare RFID. If you aren't familiar with what a white paper is, it is a government or authoritative document that gives direction on a particular issue. The white paper outlines the importance of embedding microchips into a variety of devices in the medical setting. There could be many benefits, including cost savings for the hospital, but it also gives the ability to track patients in real time. This white paper is from December 2007. This was around the time of NBC's Brave New World special featuring microchips. It was the year the presidential election began in the United States. And it was also the year that the traitor American Medical Association wholeheartedly endorsed implantable microchips in healthcare.